Hi everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. Today we're going to make something that I have it's become a staple with my meals, I would say. Now that I'm on keto, doing very well, I've lost 5 pounds in 30 days, and so I feel good about that. And this is actually something that I started eating when I was on Whole30. Whole30 is more about cleansing your body. It's not something that you stay on long term, but it's really, I find for myself, and after visiting my nutritionist and just finding that I just have to find ways to cut out the sugar and reduce kind of some of the bad carbs. And so that's really kind of what I've done. Of course, I love rice, I love potatoes and all those things. And I know you've been seeing a lot of shows out there with cauliflower rice, cauliflower mashed potato, mash, or all those different variations. And they're selling them in the store. They can't keep them in the store. Actually, Walmart even has a frozen large bag of it. I think you can almost get like the gallon, or at least in Costco. So what I want to do is show you actually how to rice it yourself, quite frankly, and you can even mash it yourself. We're not doing mashing, we're going to do ricing. I've actually already done some so that we could reduce the time, and then I'm going to show you how to couple it with some other things to even make the taste come out better. Okay, in terms of adding, we're going to add some zucchini and maybe some cut up onions, just a little bit. You can add a little garlic just to add some nice flavor to it. So if you buy a bag about this size, this is going to run you about $3 or so. And this is actually just a half of a head of cauliflower. One of the things that they also tell you is don't rice your cauliflower too far in advance. So I know that over the course of this week, I'm going to be eating this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rice all of this, and I will keep it in the container, and I'm going to cook half of it, and we'll cook that. You'll see me cook that on this episode. And then probably midweek, then I'll use the rest of it, okay? All right, so how you do it. Now, of course, I always talk to you all about my Vitamix. You know how much I love it because it's for everything. I couldn't believe how simple it was to rice cauliflower. Now, here's some key things. You don't want to load a whole head of a cauliflower in your Vitamix or your blenders. That's too much. So what I do is I actually cut mine in kind of, the flower size, just like about that. And then I put enough of them in there. I'm going to put all of these, but again, believe it or not, between this and that is just a half of a cauliflower. And that only probably cost me definitely less than $2, probably more like $1.99 or something like that. And that's half. That was just one whole cauliflower. So I'm just trying to help you see how you can save some money, do some things yourself, make sure you have no additives to it. It's just fresh, fresh, fresh. So all we're going to do, so on the Vitamix, all you have to do, you do not have to turn your middle dial. And so if you're using other kinds of devices, what you're going to select is chop. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to chop. So I'm going to let it go. You saw me put it in. You let it go at it. Voila! You have rice cauliflower. And you don't want to break it up too much. I mean, this is just fine enough. And I'm going to add this portion now to the rest of my bowl. And you will see just how simple kind of that was to make. And I'm going to make sure I get every little morsel. Hey, I paid for it, right? So I want to make sure I get all of my cauliflower. All right, so this is part one. I wanted to show you how to rice it. And look at how large of an amount we got from half of a cauliflower. All right, we're gonna stop now. I'm gonna pull out the pan, and I'm gonna show you some things you can add to it. All right, so we've got the ricing part out of the way. Now we're gonna do a little mixing. So what I did was I started my heat over here and I put just about a tablespoon of olive oil. You'll see I have this here. I just wanted to kind of get this hot for us so when we start. So you can add all kinds of things. If you want, you could just put this in there, just a cauliflower, and add some salt and pepper. Easy peasy. I like adding a little bit more flavor to it. So what I've done is I've taken just about a teaspoon of minced garlic. And so I'm gonna put that in here. And in addition to that, I've got some chopped onions. I always keep chopped onions because I like making omelets in the morning. And so I cut up my onions, my peppers, all that stuff, and then I seal it in my little containers here. All right, so now that we have that going, now what I would do is go on and add some of my cauliflower to it. Let me put this here so I can scoop some in. And I'm just gonna, I'll probably use about half of it or so. There we go. And then I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna be using some zucchini, and I've just diced those up. And then really it's just about tossing it around. Another thing that I sometimes do is for those of you that eat bacon and you know, keep some of your bacon juice, I actually put some of my bacon grease in here as well. You can even chop up some bacon pieces and put it in here. But oh my gosh, there's so many wonderful things that you can do to make this dish amazing. And so anytime you're craving some rice, here you go. Can do rice cauliflower. And I'm telling you, the price of rice cauliflower is going up because the demand is there. It seems like everyone is on keto and they're coming up with some kind of variation for it. Tell you a funny story. We went out to dinner last night and we went to a pizza restaurant. Some of you all may have heard it. I know this restaurant is on the East Coast for sure. Not sure wherever else it is. It's a chain. It's called Uncle Mario's. And you kind of they make your pizza for you right there. You can get these small personalized or extra large. And they have gluten-free. Usually the crust is either white wheat or gluten-free. And so I'm thinking, wow, they have gluten-free. That's not, let me find out what all is in the ingredients here. Found out, nope, that was not keto friendly. So I mentioned it to the manager and I said, wow, I saw that you have gluten-free. Have you thought about, you know, a keto friendly crust? He says, oh, we make it. We make it right here. It's it's a combination of eggs and cheese. And he's got his own little recipe. So I think that there are more and more people who are, or restaurants I should say, who realize people are really trying to watch what they eat. And so don't hesitate to ask. You know, if you go into a restaurant, they want your business and you say, hey, I'm on keto and or I'm on Whole30 or whatever. Most of these restaurateurs know what that is, or the chefs do, surprisingly, and they'll make it for you. All right, this is it. We're done. And really, we're just kind of this cooks so well and quickly because we've broken up in pieces. But as you can see, it just adds a nice little brown color to it. And I'm going to turn this off and then sample it. Now, one thing I did not add on it, which I will do right now, is two things. I like to sprinkle a little bit of salt. Again, this is kind of up to your flavoring. And I will add some pepper. So if you're trying to figure it out, again, it's how much cauliflower you're using to determine how much you're gonna add. So you can do that. And since I did not add my little bacon grease to it, what I'm gonna do is I had a little slice of butter hanging over from an earlier recipe. So that's just a little bit there. I'm going to add that little bit of butter, and it's going to take this to the next level for me. And all of my keto friends know we can use some butter. I like using this versus margarine. Margarine is not a natural. You know, it's processed, so at least anything in moderation is what I say. And it makes it smell so good. All right, so there you go. It's looking delicious. That's the added flavor. And again, if you want to, you know, add something else, the other thing, you can add some squash to it. And voila. So let's get a little taste. So good. So good. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Something, let me take it off of this so it won't still continue to cook. Something very easy, extremely healthy, especially if you're trying to count your carbs, you're watching your sugar level. For those that are diabetic, this is an absolutely fantastic way to come up with some alternatives. So this is going to be paired up with baked chicken, if you're eating beef, pork chops, anything again you would use rice with. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please tune in, subscribe if you haven't already by clicking the little picture in the upper left hand corner. I always say that, I always get it screwed up. It's your right hand corner. It's a little circle with my picture in it. Stay tuned if you're interested in seeing more simple, delicious, healthier recipes for people on the go. Thank you. Bye-bye.